Good morning. Little off the boil yesterday. Could have got a couple of decent ones had I been more awake. Well, this was written in the stars, wasn't it? Really. The last match at Goodison Park. Tarkovsky's late equaliser. A couple of occasions we could have laid the draw, I suppose, at half time. And the speculator could have laid that Liverpool lead, or the psychic could have laid that Liverpool lead late on. Could have got 1.1 or lower. It's all about the occasion. Plymouth and Millwall, I did take Plymouth on 2-0 up. It's always a good entry point. But they're obviously buoyed by that win against Liverpool. 2-0 at half time. Well worth taking on. Millwall, not slouches, but not exactly strong favourites, are they? Do bear that in mind. So it was more of a speculative play. But low liability, no return. Swansea and Sheffield Wednesday, in hindsight, this should have been a lay the draw second half. The clues were there. You just look at the recent form. Where's the draw? We've got a 1-1 in the Championship, a couple of 2-2s. But where's the draw for Swans? Sheffield Wednesday away, no draw as well in 5 away. Swansea at home, just the 1 draw in the last 5. Continue that down, and very infrequent draws. So should have laid the draw, particularly as well, given the standings. Sides will be fighting to end these draws from February to April. Look where they are. Sheffield Wednesday 8th. They are within 2 points of the playoffs. That's how important that win was yesterday. And for the Swans, they've got a safety gap between them and relegation. But similarly, they're only 8 points from Sheffield Wednesday. So and a win yesterday for Swansea would have taken them into the 40-point barrier, which would have been knocking on that promotion playoff door. So should have laid that draw. Sheffield United and Middlesbrough, again, should have laid that draw second half. Based more on in-play stats. Sheffield United getting an impressive win against what has been an impressive Middlesbrough at times. Professional Development League, overs yet again. The only real way to create value here, just to delay a little bit, if you can get 15 minutes out of it, because you're not getting anything out of the market makers in this league. 1.28 for over 2.5 goals. You're stuck. You're going to have to wait and hope. And in the Champions League, well, Sheffield United again, I did mention the possibility of a goal before half time. If you took me up on that, well, you've got Bergzorg to thank. No, you've got Rak Sakai to thank. And if you did cash out after that, well done. If you did lay the draw, that's a neutral play, or back over 0.5 goals, that's a neutral play. All down to the in-play stats early on. So do get yourself a stats feed if you can afford one. It will pay off. Pay for itself. 9 goal attempts, 4 on, 3 off. One-way traffic, basically 5 corners in the first half. Thoroughly deserved that goal before half-time. Insurance would have paid out here. AC Milan 1.8 favourites coming off the back of that impressive draw. Nearly a win against Inter Milan. Couldn't cross the line. Just couldn't cross the line. This is the problem with the Champions League. Quality sides. Final coming off the back of that win that they had. I forget who it was against. It was a really big name. Let's just wait for the drum roll. Oh, I can't remember. Bayern Munich, that's the one. 3-0. Monaco and Benfica. Match changing on the red. So had I been... No, it didn't change on the red. Got the goal before the red. Again, possibility of laying that draw second half, but we've got no foundation to work off. That's why I was a little quiet. Champions League, playoff, no foundation. We've got a foundation to work with the second legs, but not the first legs. Second legs now, we know Milan at home must score first. Benfica at home must keep a clean sheet and all the rest. So arguably could have been a better day had it been a bit more speculative, particularly with Everton's last match at Goodison. It's the Europa League today, and we're in the same boat as we were with the Champions League. These are the playoffs. First leg. I can't offer much, I'm afraid, apart from to look at the market. And the market's struggling as well. 2.45, Porto and Roma can't split these two. AZ Alkmaar and Galatasaray can't split these two. Ferencvaros and Poulsen can't split these two. So it's a tough coupon in the Europa League. You can read the previews if you want. You get good previews here and at uk.soccerway.com. Whenever you see the eye, you get the previews there. So there's not much I can offer you research-wise. The only way you can really research is, and I think it's a bit of a hopeless cause because these are playoffs now, aren't they? Is to look at the Europa League in isolation at uk.soccerway.com, and you can get an idea if there's any patterns. Real Sociedad at home, for example, in the Europa League, been pretty resilient, but note who they're playing compared to today. And I think Midtjylland, off-season for them. Their season hasn't started. Sociedad, at least domestically, have been in pretty hot form as well. 3 consecutive home wins, including against Ajax, which is a standout for me. Would have me favouring Sociedad today. They're only 2.05. Midtjylland, just the one win against Ludogorets in the Europa League. Pretty poor stuff. Losing to Porto, losing to Frankfurt, losing to Steaua Bucharest, and a good 2-2 draw against the special ones, Fenerbahce, but that was care of a very, very late equaliser. So for me, on paper, Real Sociedad look the better side. Both teams have scored in 3 of Midtjylland's last 4 without them winning in the Europa League. So that's a way to create value, or create an angle. But the problem is these are playoffs. So they're going to be tactical, aren't they? The away side are going to be looking for that lead to bring in for the second leg with home advantage. So those are the only odds on favourites we've got. It's a similar story with the Conference League as well. So it's going to be an abridged video today. But we've got English League 2. But it is looking tough. 2.63 the favourite. That's as tough as it gets. But we can have a look at English League 2. Port Vale and Notts County. Recent form, at least 2025 form, is excellent for both teams. Unbeaten Port Vale. Notts County only losing to Walsall, but then putting in 5 wins in the last 6. Notably, 4 clean sheets in 6 matches, not conceding that second goal either. Looks like they're a tad unlucky against Bromley with a late equaliser, and a couple of 80-minute goals conceded. Might be something for you to note. Another one there, 82nd minute goal conceded. So last 3 concessions been 80-minute plus for Notts County. Port Vale, 3 wins in 6 unbeaten 2025 matches. 5 goals in the last 2. 9 goals in the last 4. So they can strike well. So watch out for that. Plenty of second half action as well, as you can see there. Second half, 2 goals. Second half, 2 goals. Second half, 2 goals. So we've had 2 goals scored in the second half and 4 of Port Vale's last 5. These are the kind of elements I like to pick up on, as well as no 0-0 at half time since the 4th of Jan. A couple of 0-0s have seen 2 second half goals. So we could have some second half goal action. No defeat and 4 away. Scored it in the last 10, Notts County. Looking at the challenge table will tell us where these two are. And immediately you can tell why it's 2.63 the favourite. It's a top 6 clash. Now, Port Vale against the top 6, a bit hit and miss. They lost 0-1 to the first, but they've beaten Notts County already. 0-1 at Notts County. So They'll be buoyed by that. But then they've lost away to third, have beaten fourth at home, have scored 2 goals against fifth on 2 occasions. So they're not going to fear anything. This 5 goals in 2 against the top 5. But it could either be this way or this way. The market can't split these two. Probably because you're looking at second in the league, Notts County, failing to win against the top 10 side away from home. That's why it's 2.63, both teams. You tend to get this conclusion when you see 2.63 the favourite. The market can't split them. You can't split them either. 93% over 0.5 goals. Only 77% over 0.5 goals for the home side. Does suggest possibility of laying that draw second half, as does the importance of the match as far as points is concerned. Goal scoring. 9 of 13 goals conceded at home by Port Vale have come second half. 7 goals scored in the last 15 minutes away by Notts County. So if they are losing by a single goal late on, they might have something in them. 6-0 at half time at home, 3 at full time for Port Vale. So not a good conversion rate. A very messy match, isn't it? English League 2. That's why it's 2.63 the favourite. It's a top 6 clash. Let's see the importance of 3 points for these sides. Add 3 to that, they get on to 52, and they are within a hair's breadth of automatic promotion, which is very generous in this league. 3 places in League 2 for automatic promotion. Notts County will not be going top, but they get to 56 points. Their squabble is with this lot outside the top 3. Got to stay in front of those. So 3 points will be crucial, particularly with Wimbledon only a point behind in 4th. Doncaster only a point behind in 5th. Must take advantage of Doncaster dropping points in their last match against Chesterfield. But Wimbledon are on a bit of a run at the moment. Can Notts County get a 4th consecutive win? So it's a fascinating match. Plenty to play for both sides. So arguable to lay the late draw. Europa Conference League playoffs. Again, these are the lesser lights. But Friday sees the return of the Irish Premier League and Irish First Division Shamrock Rovers pre-season or off-season, like Maitland earlier on. Is that going to see them vulnerable? No real competitive football unless it's been in a friendly. So Shamrock Rovers will be lacking that competitive edge. Molde, we know, in the Norwegian Elite Serien, they're off-season as well. These are 2 summer leagues, the Norwegian Elite Serien and the Irish Premier Division. You'll be favouring Molde on paper, but as these 2 sides are very rarely going to meet each other, we just don't know, do we? We've got another pre-season FC Copenhagen, who are more used to Champions League football, aren't they? So a couple of off-season matches make it a little bit difficult to weigh up. The only form we've got recently is probably going to be friendly forms. That's what you'll see there, CF, friendly. And that's why they're playing St. Pat's. You can see that there. That's why they're playing Irish opposition. Chelsea, 5-1 win against Shamrock. That's back in December. Borac Banja Luka. Rapid Vienna. I think that's Rapid Vienna. HJK Helsinki. So they're getting in a few Scandinavian sides like HJK. It's a tricky one, isn't it? It's a very tough coupon today. 2.55 the favourite, Ammonia and Paphos. How on earth are we going to unpack that? 2.38 Borac Banja Luka and Ljubljana. How on earth are you going to unpack that? This is the website to do your research in. The Conference League, as well as the Europa League and any other specialist competitions where you want to have a glance just at the team. So we have a look at Molde and Shamrock and see how they're getting on in the Conference League. Are there any real patterns? Well, you can tell with Molde, both teams have scored in the last 2, but that's that's the Conference League. But prior to that, it's just not any form lines we can get our teeth into, is it? Good result against Rapid Vienna, arguably, but the New Saints, you should be beating them all day long, the Welsh side. And that was a good trading match if you found that one. Larne from Northern Ireland should be beating them with ease. So Mulder, arguably a step up. Saw that Chelsea defeat. So it's going to be a quiet one tonight for me, I think. Second legs will give you that key angle, won't they? For example, if Shamrock Rovers take the lead today, Mulder will have to come out in the second leg at Shamrock and get a result. Copenhagen and Heidenheim. This is fascinating. Bundesliga Heidenheim. Don't know what we're going to expect from them. Another one of those sides struggling domestically. So is this going to be a distraction for a side who could get relegated? Don't forget, these are all first legs. So it's the second leg where you'll get the key angles in. So I'm sorry there's not much I can offer you today. Research-wise, that's just the way it is in the Europa League and in the Conference League, particularly first leg matches. Saw I was a little quiet yesterday. Turkish One League. I'm doing my strategy for picking selections for that 0-0 at half-time. I'll let you know how I get on. My ideas, if you're going to be looking for a 0-0 at half-time, of course, I would go to soccerstats.com. But the system deals, I think, with the odds. So the best thing to do for me, look for the match with the shortest odds in the league. Or look for the match with the shortest draw odds at half-time. Or, yeah, the biggest draw odds at half-time. That's it, isn't it? The shortest odds, more likely to be a draw. Yeah, the shortest odds. Because you want it more likely to be a draw. So that's evens for the draw in the first half. Pendixpur and Bolaspor. I think I've got that right. So just trying to suss out these 0-0s, backing 0-0 at half-time. I'm keeping the selections. So if I have cracked it, I will certainly let you know. Here again, 3.2 for the draw. Looking at under 2.5 goals as well, or a big over 2.5 goals, because you don't want to be expecting goals if you're backing 0-0 at half-time. So I'm doing it for the Turkish One League. I'm keeping results for that. Not very good. If you looked at yesterday's Turkish One League, goals galore. So as you can see, they're all before half-time, so not getting much change out of that. Looking at the start times this evening, 5:45 onwards. You're probably not going to hear much from me this evening. These are very, very tough matches to unpack. Fenerbahce odds on at home. 5:45 will be a good starting point. The English League 2 match is just an imponderable, really. But probably one where you'd lay the late draw. And the Conference League, again, 5:45 kickoff. So at least they're uniform. But it's very tough to get enthusiastic about the first leg in these competitions. Just looking forward to tomorrow. We've got a return of our old pals in Ireland, the Irish Premier Division and the Irish First Division. These will be our summer leagues, so get to know these teams. Kerry tend to be very, very spankable, if that's a footballing term. Cork City went up last season, I believe. I don't think it's the full coupon. So it's a watching brief at the moment. Drugs tend to be gettable as well. So, last season, I think we had Cork City in the Irish First Division. This Premier Division used to be dominated by Cork City and Dundalk, but as you can see, changing fortunes at the moment. Dundalk, possibility of them dominating the First Division, we will see. But you can tell 2.48, 2.56, get to know the market. It's telling you we haven't got a clue, mate. But there are some other excellent matches. 0-0 for Bologna last match. That's always a flirting with disaster when Torino are in town. very defensively led. Go Ahead Eagles having an excellent season. Had a really good result against Twente recently, so watch out for them, particularly with home advantage. German Bundesliga 2 is getting interesting. Relegation 6-pointer, I would suggest, for Preußen Munster. FC Köln are knocking on the door for going up, but it's a very tough fixture, as you can tell there. Augsburg and Leipzig, well, only 2.1 for Leipzig there. French Ligue 2. These are the two newly promoted sides looking to take 3 points off each other. I would be looking at that one tomorrow to lay any late draw. These leagues are going to be of interest to us coming to the end of the season, because we will be attacking them, particularly in the last 2 matches of the season, where it's like in the golfing terms, moving day. If you can get yourself well positioned for the last match of the season, then you can have an assault at either staying up or getting promoted. Brest, coming off the back of that spanking by Paris Saint-Germain twice, domestically and in the Champions League. They've still got a lot to work with. Brighton and Chelsea in the Premier League, 2.3 the favourite. It's a tough encounter for Chelsea, that one. We've had a lot of these, haven't we? 2.3, 2.63. Just a tough old coupon. Talking of tough coupons, I will see you at 5:45. I'm not expecting much this evening. Neither should you. But in-play stats will be vitally important today. Have a great day. And don't forget, youtube.com/@football trading profits. If you can make sure you subscribe there. So this is the YouTube channel. This is a recent live stream. You don't have to watch it all, but when you see a screen like this, maybe stop and have a look at what I've done and give you some clues about my trading strategies and indeed what kind of websites I use and that kind of thing. So this is Servette and Basel, where I've decided to lay Servette 2-0 up because Basel are leading the Swiss Super League. They're having a rare old season, Basel. You can fast forward and you can see something happening. That's a Palermo match. So we're looking at all sorts of different matches. You can see why I'm looking at the matches and what I'm doing. Palermo and Spezia, that came in with 2 late Spezia goals. And we were talking as well about this pitch profit footy. This is a new release from Steve Davidson. We've sussed it out. I know what the win bets are. I know what the staking is, but I don't know how they make their selections. That's what I was alluding to earlier on. So you get these additions as well. And we're looking more into bet and go strategies as well at Football Trading Profits. I bought a whole load of new ones to look at. This is the result of Basel scoring to make it 2-1. Just wait for the market to settle and you'll see it's a near 2-1 risk reward there. The reward is in proportion to the amount risked. If that was 55, you'd be heading up. It will be 80 odd quid once this settles down. So it's all about the risk reward. So that may not look much, but it's all relative to the amount you risk. It's £5.50 risked just for that single goal. Coming up to 8 quid, £9.34, £9.55. So it's nearly a 2-1 risk reward. Had we got the 2-2, we'd be heading up to 32 quid. You can see this is the way I like it. Low risk, big returns. So follow that through if you'd like. Freely available. Just top tip, just wait for these screens and you'll be able to see and follow the commentary. And you'll also see the community on the right hand side, their contributions as well. Saturday and Sunday was a very, very strong insurance day. So local members will know all about insurance. Palermo and Spezia, this actually came in. If we fast forward at 0-2, Spezia, plenty to play for. You can see my research here, in-play research. Looking at the standings, look at Spezia third. Add 3 points to that. So it's a 0-2 lead, 73rd minute. Well worth getting involved in. Topping it up at 1.1 and at 55. Looking at a loss at the moment. But if you fast forward, I think we got a 2-2. Eventually. That was right at the end of the live stream. There's the Holstein Kiel and Bochum match. You see me looking at all sorts. Liverpool and Plymouth. It was a day for insurance, as I've alluded to. And boy, did it pay off. Rangers and Queen's Park as well. 1.04 Rangers. Unbelievable, Jeff. And here we've got some fun. Spezia look like they've got a goal back. No, we've got the draw. So we laid Palermo earlier on, topped up at 1.1. Coming out of this with £39. Well, you can green up now with a £37 green screen. Thanks to Spezia's 2 late goals. You saw the motivation for them to get the win. Excellent return. That's your green. And we're going to lock it in. Off we go. Bang. Just wait. This will balance itself out and you'll have £38 green screen. So if you like a bit of that, join footballtradingprofits.com or at least join the YouTube channel. Don't forget, this was a free live stream on Saturday and Sunday. Have a great day. Tough coupon tonight, Europa League and Conference League first legs, and an imponderable top 6 clash in English League 2. Good luck. I'll see members of Football Trading Profits on Telegram at 5:45. Have a great day.